Recorded live at Talks and Tasting Studios, it's the Clerical Errors Podcast, the podcast that shows you what's behind the collar. Let's go.
From the Talks and Tasting Studios, this is the Clerical Errors Podcast, the podcast that shows you
what's behind the collar.
I'm Bull Hagen.
This is Vicar.
This is Hannah.
And Peter's here. Hannah, good to have you on the show.
Good to be back, finally.
When was the last time you've been in studio?
September 20th-ish, 2022.
Wow, almost 4 years.
4 years.
That is amazing. So to the listener who does not...
And to Vicar.
And to Vicar. How would we describe Hannah? Well, she's been there with us from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been through the entire evolution of the show.
Babyhood.
Right.
Toddlerhood. I think we're maybe still in toddlerhood.
What would you say was the golden age?
Ooh, the golden age. You know, probably when I was providing the most content.
That's
about
true.
4 years ago. Yeah.
What I consider the golden age is when we also had Berg and Bert together.
Yep.
Those were amazing episodes.
That was, yeah.
And I think we jumped the shark when we tried the surround sound episode.
Oh, man. I enjoyed moments of that.
So we have this exciting thing. She said she's going to be here in town. She's camping at Beads Lake. And she said, I have 2 topics. Which would you like to talk about? And what were those 2 topics?
Miscarriage and homeschooling.
All right. And by the way, she said this message that how exactly did you word this?
I
Hannah?
said, I have a theory that it is impossible to make a joke about miscarriage. And I should have qualified that. And I said a tasteful joke.
Okay.
But I was willing to be proven wrong, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Well, first of all, I will say your question got me really thinking. Okay.
I know where this is going.
All right. So I was thinking of, where did I put my sheet? First, I already lost it. Oh, I had it right here, bro. Okay. A minute.
I mean, there's a lot of top 12 lists floating around.
No, I had it in my hand.
This is my favorite part of the show.
Oh. Where'd it go?
You know, I can take some of these for fire starters. Okay, listeners, while he is looking for the top 12.
I'll be right back. I think I left it in my study.
A report from Beads Lake. The longtime listener may recall that the Auberg family's first visit was in early fall. We arrived to the campsite and we found that the restrooms were closed for the season. A kindly RV camper came over and said, I saw you pull up with your kids in a tent, and they just closed the restrooms yesterday. If our RV is open to you. So that's how we met one of our first Hampton residents. And now, 4 years later, we roll up to our campsite again, head over to the restrooms, closed for repairs. Please use the east restrooms. Okay, at least something's open. Yeah, there goes another star on Yelp for Beads Lake.
And yet you still keep coming back.
Keep coming back.
It's because of the clear water, isn't it?
The clear water, the trail through the goose poop, the rampant mulberry bushes, and yeah, our dear friend Peter Wagner was called to St. Paul's and Latimer, so keep coming back to see their family growing too.
Well, it's good to see you. So back to the topic.
Yeah, got you thinking.
Got me thinking. So she mentioned. Well, I was thinking. Well, that can't be the only thing that we shouldn't be joking about.
Oh no.
Right? So I have the top 12 things that are not funny and we should never joke about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So this is what I want you to do, Peter, okay? Just to prove that none of these are funny, Vicar, I want you really close to the microphone, right? Closer. And Peter, I want you to make sure his microphone is turned up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can prove that none of these topics are funny because Vicar is not going to laugh about any of these topics.
Right, because they're not funny.
Because they're not funny,
at
Vicar.
all.
I'm pretty nervous, but let's get rolling.
All right, so these are top 12 things that are not funny that we will not laugh or joke about ever on this episode.
Peter, play the intro.
Enough nonsense. It's time for Bullhagen's Top 12.
Number 12.
Suicide,
Number 11.
breast cancer,
Number 10.
dogs left in hot cars,
Number 9.
the Holocaust,
Number 8.
the LWML.
Number 7.
Hannah, it's not funny.
I'm expelling air from my mouth. I'm not laughing, per se.
What are we on, number 7?
Number 7.
The brave men and women who lost their lives on 9/11. Vicar, it's not funny.
Number 6.
Spirit bird designation at CSL.
Oh, number 5.
Handicamp.
Number 4.
Irish goodbyes.
Number 3.
The 2026 LCMS National Convention.
Number 2.
Divorce.
Number 1.
Miscarriage.
Hmm.
What? Any comments on my list?
I think you could joke about some of them in the right company, but most of them,
Okay.
nope.
But the thing is, we're not supposed... I heard laughter. Did you hear laughter, Peter? More from Hannah, actually.
I did hear quite a bit of laughter.
But you know, this...
We can edit that out, right?
Do you know Peter? So that got me thinking.
Okay.
All right. So I actually did think of some times that miscarriage is funny. You look nervous.
I am, but also very curious.
All right. I don't have 12 of them.
Okay.
All right. You want to hear the first one?
Aborted list, as it were.
All right. The first one is Cinderella falling out of a pumpkin.
Okay.
That is a miscarriage.
Oh.
She's laughing.
Okay.
She's laughing at miscarriage. I did it. Just took one to prove you wrong.
Okay, yeah.
All right. You want to hear the second one?
Just barely.
Drunk storks are funny.
Drunk storks. Okay. Okay.
All right. You want to hear another one?
Well, how many are there? I need to prepare myself.
I've got 3 or 4 more.
Okay. All right.
All right. A guilty murderous clown being set free on technicalities. That'd be a funny miscarriage of justice.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I was waiting for a miscarriage of justice.
All right. Next one. A woman from Carriage, Nebraska winning the town's beauty pageant, being declared the very first Miscarriage, Nebraska.
Is that a real place?
I don't know. I mean,
Huh. Yep. Okay.
maybe not as funny as Cinderella falling out of a pumpkin.
Yeah.
All right. You ready? Next one. You may not know this one. Football fans do. Mark Sanchez's butt fumble. Whoosh. That got Vicar. That was a miscarriage.
I can see that.
He
I can see that play in my
He
mind.
was running the football. He ran into his own player's rear end and fumbled the ball.
Oh.
And it's always been known since then as the butt fumble. All right. I'm getting down to the very end here. Squat fails on YouTube's. Those could be funny. All right. How did I do?
You did. That was a good effort.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is your favorite?
The beauty pageant winner from Nebraska.
Miscarriage, Nebraska?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So I tried.
You
Hannah.
did. Yeah. Yes. I appreciate the effort.
So I don't know if that's a technicality because I didn't actually joke about the topic.
Yeah.
I just did wordplay.
Yeah. And it got me thinking, actually, while I was in waiting in the ER, why is this so different from every other kind of loss? And I was thinking about it more before this episode, and I thought, nobody gets to meet the person you lost. There's no, and I experienced this too at the funeral of a baby that had lived for a couple weeks in the NICU. There was no ability to share memories about the person
Mhm.
that you lost, the best you could do is talk about the parents and how horrible it is. And then, like, that's just the end. So I think that's one thing that makes it really difficult.
Yeah.
And another thing is there is no funeral for the most part, unless you're pretty far along. There isn't the comfort of public rituals. And not everyone finds public rituals comforting, but I sure do.
Yeah, because it's seen by and large often as a private thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times.
Yeah. At the time of the miscarriage, usually only a couple people know about the tragedy occurring and maybe didn't even know that the woman was pregnant. And I didn't even know that I was pregnant, which made it even more weird. That was like
Right.
another layer of shock to work through. So, and then what I find really interesting, and I've witnessed this with family members, is that no one really talks about miscarriage until you have one. And then you find out who around you has had a miscarriage, and it's an astonishing number.
Right.
But there's not usually another good way to bring it up unless the same thing has happened, or unless, like, you're having a good talk about pregnancies.
Right. All right. So what do you think as a pastor that a pastor should know about this?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I think some of the things that I just mentioned, that it doesn't get talked about very much until it happens. Pastor Wagner, right before I said, what scripture passages did you find most comforting? And I thought, well, yeah, let me rattle them off for you, Peter. But the Psalm verse about I knew you before I knit you together in your mother's womb.
Psalm 139.
And then when David lost his infant son before he was circumcised. And then Luther's appendix that he wrote to a friend's book. I can't remember. He also gives comfort to grieving mothers. And then the reminder that God can save outside of baptism and the means of grace. He is not boxed in to the visible means of grace that he has provided for us.
Yeah, certainly in the situation where it's not possible, especially, But, you always lean on those situations with the understanding that God is way more gracious than we could ever be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think pastors might need to know that they won't hear about it necessarily, but
Right.
it's still in the background, especially for any subsequent pregnancies. Like, this may be a joyful time, but also the mom may be like waiting. How long am I still going to be pregnant?
Pastors, I actually can pick up on this when a mother will just nervously say that I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Rather than, guess what?
Yeah. It's definitely it's different. One couple at our church, and I'd never seen this before, told our pastor that they had a miscarriage, and then asked him to tell the congregation. So he sent an email letting everyone know, so-and-so has had a miscarriage and welcomes your prayers, or something like that. And I thought, that's bold. And that I really appreciate that, because, again, you don't know unless you find some way to work it into conversation, and usually you don't love to work it into conversation.
And I will say, from a pastoral point of view, just like you don't know and you're sensitive to the fact that it happens, I would say, too, that also goes with abortion. We don't know that there are probably people in the church who have that double pain, where not only do they lose a pregnant, but they feel, responsible for it.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's another side of that we need to be mindful of, and need all the more for the gospel.
Yeah. Yeah. And how about you? What do you think, as a seasoned pastor, what do you think young pastors and vicars should know?
I would say to know there are times, particularly when women might be struggling with that, so it might be good, like when you have your Mother's Day prayer, to include something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that could be a kind of situation where I would say you can be, in a sermon, you could be specific, because like if you don't know, that's kind of how you address it.
Mm-hmm.
You can be specific without being specific.
Yeah.
Meaning you can talk about in a sermon how the Lord addresses even the pain that you go through that no one else may know about.
Mm-hmm.
Or various times of loss where you can, in your mind, you can be thinking about those kind of situations and you can address it without always necessarily mentioning it. And then what happens is people will find other situations in their life that actually applies to.
Yep.
And the other thing too is, you don't have to necessarily be afraid to even mention it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a part of life. And I was looking up statistics, and between 10 and 20% of all pregnancies in the United States end in miscarriage that we know about.
Right.
So that's something that it can really, for something that happens so frequently, it can really fly under the radar.
And one of the ways I would say to properly not understand it, because you hear this argument all the time, is a way of saying, well, see, abortion isn't that bad. I mean, their bodies do it so many times anyways. Have you heard that before?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard someone say it seriously, because I don't follow those kind of counts on
Right.
X or Instagram.
Right. Well, I over the years, I will say,
Yeah.
I've heard that many times.
Yeah. Just helping the body along. No.
And I think just even, what would you find other ways that would have helped you that maybe in that situation?
So, I was thinking of a few practical ways. I know you hate cut flowers. And there's a couple ways to get around that. You can give someone flowers. And then for my friend who lost a baby around 6 months, the gifter included a wooden carved flower. So while the cut flowers did wither and fade, one of them remained.
Oh, that's nice.
Forever. A friend who came over like the day afterward brought felted flowers. You can also get crocheted flowers. So you can bring a traditional sign of sympathy without having them also die. And it also doesn't have to be a potted plant, which you have to take care of.
Right. I guess from my point of view, well, the interesting thing to talk about is that you don't want to necessarily remind them, but you don't want to, you know what I mean?
Okay, so my mom is a psychologist and has given me very many helpful tips over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And the one was because one of my friends in high school, his mother committed suicide.
Not funny, Vicar.
Not funny.
Not funny.
And she said, don't be afraid to mention his mom because he's thinking about her. You're not going to remind him of her death. He's thinking about it all the time. Or it's like, it's never far
Right.
on the surface. So I think that fear is a little bit misplaced. And it may be a difference between women and men. I'm not sure.
Well, I will say that on the other side of that coin, though, is like when someone does suffer loss,
Mm-hmm.
they don't necessarily like to go to the grocery store because they don't want to talk about it.
Right.
They want to kind of be secluded, and they want just to have a day where people kind of just treat them normally with always having this follow them all the time.
Yes. Yep. That is also a real thing. So then my second tip is take your cues from the person you're talking to. The person who gave me the flowers who came over afterwards seemed real sad for us. And I was not at that time real sad for us. I was tired because I had missed 5 hours of sleep the other night. So yeah, definitely. I mean, that goes with every kind of grief too. Like, is this a day where they want, and
Right.
you can ask, you can say, Do you just want to go to the park and talk about anything at all? Or do you want me to go to the grocery store for you so that you don't have to act normal?
And I will say too, one thing that we've actually haven't talked about that I can is the fact that it's a father thing too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, because in a way we almost have two things. One, we go through the loss too, and then we jump right into caretaker mode.
Yep.
As we do that, because the primary focus as a husband is, my wife is really sad and she's really upset, and I need to take care of her and do all those things, and in a way it's a kind of almost like a double burden, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're placed in when I've been in that situation, it's immediately goes, well, how can I? You don't even really think of yourself. How can I help my wife through this?
Yep.
How can I do all those things that you're thinking, and it doesn't. You don't really have time or a way to really process it yourself until later.
Yeah. Or in my situation, I was sitting in the waiting room reading The Grapes of Wrath, and my husband was sitting next to me, I don't know, stewing. Why isn't my wife getting care?
Right.
Oh, honey, listen to this funny part that John Steinbeck wrote.
Hey, you're kind of, that's awful. You're almost joking about it.
See, this is why I thought of it too, because very often in times of grief or stress, I will try to find let's lighten the mood a little bit. I know this is serious, but also this is something that's a little bit funny right now.
Yeah, I mean, I am one who you kind of have to take the humor when it comes. I mean, you just, it is a release valve sometimes.
Yeah. And I was just having a hard time finding that valve.
And it has to come from, though, the people going through it.
Yes.
You don't just, hey, walk in and, hey, everybody.
Oh, yeah. So that's another thing. My friend asked me what kind of care I received, because she had heard from some friends that the care providers are maybe not the most sensitive, because guess what? They've seen dozens and dozens of miscarriage, and but you're you, and this is the first, or maybe the second, or tragically the third or fourth. And I was lucky in that everyone was pretty sensitive. And the physician's assistant who was taking care of me at the end, who was and I always tell women, you did nothing wrong. The miscarriages just happen sometimes. And no one knows why. I know. Thanks for the reminder. And I'm glad you tell people that, because I can see how could really spiral into did I not take enough prenatal vitamins? Did I exercise too vigorously?
Right.
Did I slam too many protein drinks? Did I bench too hard?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Am I joking again? Oops.
See? See, I think you already broke the... Yeah.
So let's see. I mentioned the permanent flowers. Then an idea I saw from a friend's pediatrician was to have a memorial Christmas ornament made, or make one yourself. And I thought that was an excellent idea. So now we have a Christmas ornament memorializing our child who's in heaven. And
it goes to your talk about you're thinking about it anyways. That's the kind of time where you think about those things.
Exactly. Yeah. If we had an Easter tree, we would have an ornament for that time as well. And then it's also a very concrete object for a child, because otherwise there's just nothing,
right.
Mom's sad, dad's sad. My 8-year-old and my 5-year-old understood it differently. My 3-year-old, whoosh, nothing.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about naming?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. And it's a little tricky. I never thought I would be scrolling through gender neutral names, but there we were. We didn't get a blood test, so we didn't know. And we settled on Vesper Wynn, which follows our family naming convention of having initials in alphabetically sequential order or alliterative. And
I picked up on that right away.
yeah, oh yeah. And we were never going to name anyone a VW name. So Vesper gets it. Yeah. And so that makes it a little easier sometimes in talking
it
about
personalizes it. Like, because you think, well, you can fall in the trap of like, there's nothing to hold on to. They don't have a memory, but having a name could actually help with some of that.
Yep. So, and Vesper, of course, refers to evening, and that's when everything started going down, literally. And
there you go, joking again. Wow. See, if I would have said that, I'm the big jerk.
The friend who I got the ornament idea from named their baby Autumn. Happened in the autumn. Can go either way. So it's a little trickier, but I think it's worthwhile. I had one friend who named their miscarried baby a name that they liked, but they would never use because it was a sibling's name. Like, we're never going to be able to name our kid Billy Bob because my brother is Billy Bob. So we'll name this dead child after Billy Bob. So it's a weird kind of loss. It's a weird kind of grief. There's a layer of shock on top of it for me. So it was funny. Every Sunday I would get super sad. I'm like, oh, this is when I don't have to homeschool and make as many meals or whatnot. And my friend texted me, Vesper is in heaven praying for you guys right now. Oh my God, really? So that's something you can tell grieving parents. Your child is in heaven praying for you. Yeah. And so since we talk about the new heavens and the new earth a lot at home, my 8-year-old is looking forward to seeing Vesper and the new heavens and the new earth.
That actually, I want to let you know, I think that's a really healthy thing to do, to actually talk to your own children about it, because they have a whole life of disappointments and right.
Yeah. And I think that's where the Christmas ornament comes in handy too, because then every year they'll have a new understanding, and like my 3-year-old will eventually ask, who is Vesper when? Why do we have this? And yeah, my husband had a sister that I didn't know about until we had been dating for about a year, because she died the day after she was born. And it doesn't come up except in certain situations, like visiting a cemetery. Hey, we can go see my sister's grave. Like, okay, good. It's a small one.
And I would say this too, how the things that you have helped you may be different for other women. There might be someone who just want to kind of put them behind them a little bit too, which is fine, really. Yeah. I'm always a little skeptical of that because that's never worked for me. And I feel like it's always going to come back and demand to be processed at some point. But you don't want anyone to feel bad. I never gave a name.
Right. Yeah.
No.
That
I'm going to tell you, I know women. Okay. There will be some women who might be listening to that and think, oh, did I do that wrong?
No.
I didn't honor the child like I'm supposed to. You know what I mean? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
There might be someone listening who will feel that way.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. I mean, you have to grieve in a way that makes sense for you. My way included Little Debbie nutty bars. And that's not right for everyone. I do have a second segue.
All right. That's okay. Let's while you think about it, Vicar, what are your thoughts on miscarriage?
I'm just the vicar.
This has to come up at seminary with all the sem wives.
I don't know that it has. Now that you say that, now that I'm thinking, I don't think it has. I'm also not married, so I don't spend a whole lot of time with the seminary wives.
Have you held a baby?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. Are you comfortable holding a baby?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, good. I think that's an important skill to learn in seminary.
I did that to a vicar once. I could tell he had I was holding a baby. I said, "Here, have a baby." It's gonna die.
Don't drop it. Oh man.
Do you want us to do a quick talk about our gospel reading while
Yeah.
you think about that?
Go for it.
All right, Vicar, what am I preaching on? I actually haven't been around much this week. While he gets that out, I had a wonderful meeting at the Lutheran Heritage Foundation, our annual in-person board meeting. Very well. Good work that they're doing. So if you don't want to give to the show, that would be a next option. All right, Vicar.
All right, the Holy Gospel is Luke chapter 14, verse 15 through 24. When one of those who reclined at table with Jesus heard these things, he said to him, "Blessed is everyone who will eat bread in the kingdom of God." But he said to him, "A man once gave a great banquet and invited many. And at the time for the banquet, he sent his servant to say to those who had been invited, 'Come, for everything is now ready.' But they all alike began to make excuses. The first said to him, 'I have bought a field, and I must go out and see it. Please have me excused.' And another said, 'I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to examine them. Please have me excused.' And another said, 'I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come.' So the servant came and reported these things to his master. Then the master of the house became angry and said to the servant, 'Go out quickly to the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in the poor and crippled and blind and lame.' And the servant said, 'Sir, what you commanded has been done, and there is still room.' And the master said to the servant, 'Go out to the highways and hedges and compel people to come in, that my house may be filled. For I tell you, none of those men who were invited shall taste my banquet.'"
All right. Kind of a straightforward one, parable, right?
Yeah.
About the fact that the excuse I like is, "I have a wife." That's a lame excuse. It's like, "Hey, you should come hang out with us and watch the game." I have a wife. That doesn't really sell marriage to Vicar very well, does it?
Well, I don't know. I think it's kind of a good excuse, but not who is throwing the feast again?
It says
A man.
a man.
Okay, just a man. Okay, not a king or a noble, just a man.
Right. But it just shows how, one, this only works by grace, in the sense that everyone is welcome. Like, here is a gift of this feast. And certainly this really flows nicely into all the excuses we make in not hearing or attending the feast here on earth. But it's a matter of the kingdom of God and how freely it is offered, and how it's interesting how it goes from invite many, and then how it transitions in verse 23 to go to the highways and hedges and compel people to come in.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting. Do you have any thoughts on why that might be a little different? It's like, it's even stronger than invite, right?
Yeah. Do you know what the Greek is?
Off the top of my head, I don't, but
Can you look that up on your cell phone?
maybe.
So, let's see. You can tell I've done a lot of my work on my sermon tomorrow. I haven't gone.
My dad has a very similar pattern to you, putting the finishing touches on as as my mom drives him to church. And now he's in Japan as a missionary, so sometimes it takes 2 hours to get to church. He has lots of time to prepare on the train.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just a matter of realizing the blessings that we do have and how we are invited, and to be mindful of all of the excuses. I mean, there's nothing better than what God has given us. And the difference is, for us, all the things that they're talking about seem immediate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the struggle we have sometimes with the Christian life is, if we're just focusing on what happens when we die, it seems less immediate. That's an overarching thing that we can always deal with later. And so all those things that come then with the feast, you can also deal with in the terms of come to the banquet also means repentance. I don't want to deal with my sin right now. There's plenty of time. I want to enjoy these things first.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that could be, because when you talk about coming to the feast or coming to the Lord's Supper, part of that is coming with repentance and faith.
I was thinking of it a little bit on the flip side of if you come to the feast, the Lord's Supper, read, mark, learning, and inwardly digesting God's word, that yields benefits in the here and now. We were talking this morning about how obeying the 10 Commandments is a joy, not a burden. It makes our lives better to not steal, not murder people, not bear false witness against our testimony, or a false witness against our neighbor. So if we reject enjoying the feast now for things that we think will be more immediately satisfying, we're cutting ourselves off from, I think, mostly of the peace that surpasses all understanding, knowing that our life here is provided for, if only we're wise enough to see it.
Yeah, because when you celebrate the feast in God's house, you are celebrating the same feast. And so I've given my new car analogy in here on this podcast. Have you heard it before?
It's not leaping to mind.
Okay, so imagine if I gave Peter at 11 years old a brand new Corvette, and I sign all the paperwork when he's 11, and this Corvette is in his possession legally.
Is 11 his age of reason?
11 would be his actual age at this.
Okay.
It's legally his age. I'm not sure I'm tracking your question.
Continue.
Okay. All right. So the issue is then, okay, is it his? Yes. What's the problem?
You can't drive it.
You can't drive it. Now, it's legally his. He can't drive it. But you know what he could do?
Crash it.
No, he could actually. Now, that crashing would be seeking a heaven before it's time.
Okay.
Right? But I would say he could sit in the car, enjoy the new car smell. Right? He could, look forward to the day because it is his. He knows it's his.
Okay.
He can start planning things out.
As an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
You can turn on the radio.
Right.
Right? Okay. All right.
Right.
Like go up and down in the chair.
He can bring his friends in to enjoy the car.
Okay. All
You
right.
could actually have his dad drive him around, which I probably would happily do. See, and what I'm saying is when we think of, the Christian life is just about, well, I get to someday have that joy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, this is something that you don't forget about now.
Yeah.
I mean, you would be looking forward, if it's a Corvette, he would be looking forward to that day and thinking about it and enjoying the thought and live in expectation. And in the Christian life, it is given to us. We have the kingdom of God. The fullness of it, we do not receive yet, but we order our lives to that promise and that hope. What do you think about that analogy?
It seems fitting for you.
Okay.
I'm more imagining at 11 years old, or maybe 10 or 9, I get a small private library, and it's all mine. And I may not be able to read all the books, but I can read the titles and the authors and make reading lists and plan for when I'm going to read what.
All right. So that's where you and I would be different at 11.
Okay, so
I would be, how can I gross out my sisters?
Yeah. Okay, here's our segue. All right.
All right.
I've been teaching my children to read, which has been a wild journey for me because I don't remember learning how to read. I was a natural reader. I don't remember phonics, none of it. So I had to teach myself how to teach someone else to read.
Peter's the same way. He taught himself to read.
I remember that story. Hooey. Okay. So, and my husband is watching this and he's watching me, we got her a library card. We went to the library. She checked out 14 books so that she could read 2 a day. And every week I request more books for her so that she can keep reading 2 a day. Sometimes she reads 3. She's going to be reading 0 this weekend. And I'm giddy. Like I never thought she was going to read. It was taking so long. And so she's finally there at like what I think of as like a threshold of childhood. And my husband says, I ever remember reading for fun as a kid. He fished. He rode his bike. He did active boy things.
Hey.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
You know, reading was like, it's functional, right?
I remember in school having to do a book report, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting this 200-page book that I picked because I thought it would be enjoyable.
Uh-huh.
Right? So 200 pages. And I would read 3 pages and say, okay, I did that in 5 minutes. So it should take me, I do the math of how long it should take me to do that.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't remember the 3 pages that I actually just read. And I'd look outside the window at all the fun things going on.
Yeah. No, I would not look out the window.
And I went through the same thing with the producer because from the time he was 6, he was like reading books for his own. Like I remember when he was young and I took him, what movie was that? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Which one is that?
The Chronicles of Narnia?
Yeah, Narnia books.
And I took him to that very first movie. I don't remember how old you were. And I asked him what he thought of the movie. And he was upset. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
He was upset because all the imagery was completely different than it was in his mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so he had this whole world in his head from reading it.
Yeah.
And it was way different than the pictures on the screen.
Yeah.
Which is why I think I have struggled with all these movies about Jesus' life.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are adding to scripture.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything, language is not just the words, right? We have the words. We know that is God's word.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have like the disciples' reaction.
Right.
In Bible on their faces.
Not usually.
We don't have how Jesus said it, right?
Yeah.
Did he say like he was angry or did he say it like a hippie? Most of the time he said it like a hippie, right?
Well, that comes through in the Greek, doesn't it?
Sometimes. So then I jumped all over. So it's about reading. Did you have anything more about teaching the reading?
Well, no, the segue is let's talk about homeschooling.
Hey,
Peter, play the intro.
Enough nonsense. It's time for Bullhagen's Top 12.
I have a top 12 list.
Okay. What are because you did a top 12 list
4 years ago before I was really homeschooling in earnest. So I thought, I wonder if those reasons are still the same. And let's find out.
Okay.
Number 12.
2022, Hannah said, it gives the kids enough time to eat breakfast and lunch. Still true. We can have a long breakfast and I can read them something according to their interests. My oldest daughter is really into wildfires right now and forest fires. So I found a choose your own adventure about smoke jumpers.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good couple of breakfasts. And it also gives the kids now, 2026, Hannah notes, it gives the kids enough time to wash the breakfast dishes, start a load of laundry, learn a little history during second breakfast, and not just enough time for eating, but also homeschooling allows us to design our own schedule for day to day and to plan it seasonally according to the weather and according to the church year. So if I want to take a week off for Holy Week, we can take a week off for Holy Week.
Well, that's nice.
Mm.
And you can do some more during the summer then too.
Yep. And my current schedule is homeschooling 4 weeks on, 1 week off, and 2 weeks for Christmas, maybe a couple of weeks for Easter. And then we don't have to play catch up. We don't have 3 months of not doing math every day and not keeping up with reading. So I like that non-repetitive stuff.
Number 11.
I assume they'll get sick less. So what actually happened is we still got sick more than I would have liked to because for 2 years we were in a classical conversations community that included a nursery. So there was still plenty of strep throat, for example, floating around. But now that we have a smaller community that we're in, we only got one respiratory illness this winter and one stomach bug, and that is manageable.
But don't you think that builds up the immune system for later?
Oh, absolutely. But it's also borderline horrendous. I mean, I don't know what your kids were like, but my kids do not like having their throat swabbed. And that's what we needed to do for strep throat. Plus, they always presented with upset stomach and throwing up.
Oh, that's not fun.
Yeah, no. So
we didn't get sick that often, did you? I mean, you got scarlet fever once, but that's 'cause
Yeah,
you
I was
worked at
going to
a
say,
daycare.
I get sick more rarely, but when I do it right. And I end up incapacitated.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think my immune system generally fires on all cylinders because I'm with daycare kids at 2 different places, nursing homes, shake every hand.
Yeah, it was a steep ramp. I was looking for more of an inclined
Gentle, yes.
slope. Yeah.
Number 10.
I said we can teach them Latin, Greek, and or Hebrew. Now I know that in order to teach a language, you have to learn the language. So we're learning French. Because I learned French in high school and Arthur learned it in college, and that is the easy button. We're learning some Latin that's related to the divine service, the Gloria Patri, the Lord's Prayer. But yeah, we'll save Greek for later. When my dad comes back from Japan, he can tutor them in Greek.
Number 9.
We'll get to go to fun places during off-peak hours. This is still true, but sometimes places, like even if you don't go on the weekends, they're overrun with field trips.
Yes.
Hordes of kids all wearing the same color shirt. Getting in my way of seeing the farm animals at the Minnesota Zoo. But some places have no field trip days. So like if you go on a Monday, no one's allowed to schedule a field trip for that day. So that helps a little bit. Yeah. Also, you can take breaks instead of fun places, you can go visit your friend who is struggling with this, that, or the other thing and needs some help taking out the trash and cleaning her kitchen. And what kind of education is that? You know, my mom was a block nurse for a while and went grocery shopping for an elderly neighbor. And that has stuck with me for a very long time. So you get to be able to design and, include kids on that sort of thing without it being kind of an add-on to an already long school day.
Right.
Number 8.
Workload. So 4 years ago, I said, I realized from my siblings' experience sending their children to public school and from my own experience sending my daughter to preschool that outsourcing your child's education does not result in a cessation of parental involvement and effort. So I decided I might as well make the effort at home. Okay, so 2026, Hannah has learned that taking on the full responsibility of delivering your child's education is quite a lot of work. But it got easier once I found my philosophy and adjusted my expectations.
I can imagine, you go into homeschooling with, they're going to learn Greek and Hebrew.
Yeah. No, let's start with English. And you can still, there's so many resources in the Twin Cities, for example, of if you're not strong at teaching X, you can send them to this place. Or even if you can teach them sewing, for example, Arthur's an excellent tailor. Still, we're going to have one of the church ladies come over. And because Arthur's busy, he's at work or he's at home gardening and brewing and whatnot, fixing things that the kids break all the time. So that number 8 workload definitely got right-sized.
Number 7.
There are no mysteries about what happens during the school day. This is true, and it was especially pertinent to me right after COVID because I'd send my child into a building and then not really know what happened.
Right, and don't you think that's what parents found eye-opening is when school went online, they realized what they were teaching and what was, and they were, what's going on? I didn't realize.
Yeah. So I was looking up some numbers. Homeschooling peaked during COVID, then it dropped, and it's come up a bit since then, but it has not reached the COVID height. So some people found it sustainable. Some people did not.
How much do you think that might be economy related?
Ooh, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because with inflation and things going up, sometimes it might be harder when people are thinking of making ends meet.
Well, I think it could go two ways. If tuition in your private school is going up, you might
Sure.
decide that you can't, because that was the deal for my cousin, why she started homeschooling, because she couldn't afford tuition anymore. And then her oldest son was not as responsive to her authority anymore. And, he'd been in a Christian home for over a decade and is now going to public school, I think fairly well equipped with the armor of God.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it can go both ways. It depends. The real reason is I don't have a clue, Pastor Bullhagen.
Okay.
I did not dig that deeply.
Number 6.
Our children's primary connection will be to us as their parents rather than to their elementary schools or their schoolmates. I still think this is an excellent reason to homeschool. And now that I have 3 kids instead of 2 and they're all a little bit older, the connections that they're building as siblings, being with each other all the time, for better or for worse, I think those are priceless.
That's one thing I actually find beautiful about having kids close together too. Is I think for the most part our kids are very close. In fact, Peter is very close with his younger brother right now because they're roommates.
Yeah, I gathered.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Will get an education too. This is still true. I'm reading Pilgrim's Progress for the first time. I learned the story of Shakespeare's Two Gentlemen of Verona for the first time this year. We discovered a composer that I've, for some reason, have never heard on classical radio, who wrote a series of music called the Florida Suite, which I think you might really like.
Okay.
So
Sounds like good cigar music.
Oh, that was it. Since we talk about the new heavens and the new earth a lot, my 8-year-old has a lot of questions about what will or will not be in the new heavens and the earth. Her recent question was, will there be cigars in the new heavens and the earth? And I said, I know just who to ask.
Well, I mean, we just read about being a feast. What's better after a feast?
My pastor, Pastor Kind, also said, I sure hope so. Pastor Wagner said, no. I guess we'll just have to find out.
Well, I mean, there'll be incense.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Okay. My standard answer is you probably won't miss it because you'll be with Jesus.
Right.
All right, moving on.
Actually, I have heard questions about this type of thing.
Uh-huh.
And someone was really worried, okay? Because they were told that there's not going to be a marriage in heaven.
Okay.
Right? Like, people, when they think, what will I miss more, cigars or that bother them? That's a toughie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have the fulfillment of the marriage between Christ and the church, right?
That's right.
What more do you need?
Exactly.
Number 4.
Private Christian schools are spendy. Still true. I even doubled down on thrift and selected a curriculum that is totally free and uses many books that are in the public domain or available at your local library. So, yeah, I do have to remind my husband that homeschooling is not free, but it is definitely cheaper.
Right. That would be, I can imagine, especially there's so many resources out there that you can use.
Yeah. Thank God for the good people who work on Project Gutenberg and upload so many classics.
Number 3.
No daily commute. I'm so used to this now that I forgot how important it was to me 4 years ago. But we do need to get out of the house every day, as it turns out. It's not like homeschooling it doesn't mean you stay in your house. So we walk around the block at least every morning and watch the neighborhood kids get on the buses and bikes and go off to school.
Number 2.
Homeschooling is more efficient. Still true. I think about the lessons that I teach one-on-one and think, how would this work if I were in front of 35 kids? I don't get it. I also wrote 4 years ago that, there's minimal time spent on classroom management in a homeschool.
I bet that's opposite.
Not as true as I would have liked. Because guess what? Christian kids are still sinners.
Right.
So some days we learn different lessons than the academic.
Because Peter remembers
ones.
this. I tried to do some things where I could teach the kids over a summer, and Peter killed that so quickly.
Oh, you got to start with the expectation that school goes all year round. Like it's just been that way since birth.
Right.
And number 1.
We can place God at the center of our homeschool. This is still obviously true, but it feels more like a foundation or just an all-pervasive, like everything is about truth, beauty, and goodness, and all of that flows from God.
Right.
Like you can't get away from it. It's like whether you're in the center or the periphery, He is there.
Which is how Christian education should be. Not that, we have a Christian school, so we can have a religion class for
Right.
30 minutes a day or something like that.
Yeah.
When really, it really is involved in everything you teach
Mm-hmm.
and everything you do.
Yeah. Like our God is a God of order. That's why math works so well. I mean, math gets a little funny the deeper you go, but still. You want absolute truth? Look at 2 + 2. It's always going to equal 4. Now, my husband is very good at math, so he likes to pull out like imaginary numbers or the number I or whatnot. And then
Right, but people who are good at math aren't necessarily good at
teaching
it.
he is the comic relief at the end of the day.
I was listening to a podcast that he probably knows a lot more than I would about, what was it? Quantum entanglement. Very interesting. Anybody ever heard of quantum entanglement?
It sounds vaguely familiar and oddly, okay, Peter does, of course. I think I may have heard of it during a lecture of a classical educator from CCLE.
The way I understood it is if you have like two particles from an atom, particles like spin at different rates. And if you were to separate those particles, like one will affect the other quite quicker than the speed of light.
Peter, is that true?
He's kind of right. Yeah.
So you have there's like a connection between things
Sure.
that are far away that one will react to the other faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
Instantaneous.
Yeah. So this is what makes science fiction possible, right?
Right. They thought, was there a way we could communicate it? But there's not, because it doesn't really transfer information.
Oh, not yet. Yeah, I mean, that's some of our readings in homeschool have been about how everything we learn is kind of like a treasure hunt, looking for the things that our creator has hidden for us to find or is out in plain sight. And the more closely we look at it, we discover the layers and layers and layers of his good, orderly creation.
Yeah, which is a great way to teach the scientific method.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can actually, what people call science is not really science, because it's not something that they can repeat and test, that we came from an amoeba in a mud pod. You can't
replicate that. You can try. I mean, they probably tried, but it doesn't work out.
Right. So, interesting. All right. Well, do you have anything else you want to mention while you're here?
I hit the new heavens and the earth, miscarriage and education, and that's it.
All right. Now, since you're here, any directions on the show you'd like to see?
Directions on the show. Boy, I do my best brainstorming right before I go to bed by myself, so
all right.
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Wait.
Thanks.
One more question.
Yeah.
Spurs or Knicks?
Spurs or Knicks?
Spurs.
They're already down 3-1.
Ooh, already down 3-1.
We're going to have everyone loves a good comeback.
I got Knicks in 6.
Okay.
Then there was they came back from the largest deficit. The last game the Knicks were down, was it 27 or 29 points? And they came back to win.
Right, but we don't know what happened last night as we speak.
Right. We don't.
Maybe the Knicks won in 5. We don't know yet.
So, or would you rather talk about the World Cup?
Oh man, such a difficult choice.
See, I imagine like your Peter, Pastor Wagner probably knows more about the World Cup than he would the
Potentially, yeah. Do you know
NBA.
he canoe races?
No. I also learned once that he juggles on a unicycle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's a man of many talents. Yeah.
See?
No, I'd rather talk about the back rooms, but Peter and I already accomplished that over text. Thank you so much. No one else in my life knows what the back rooms is and doesn't care to learn. So
I'm more of an SCP kind of guy.
yeah, I'm
Hey.
I have no idea what you guys are talking
I'm scared
about.
to go down that rabbit hole. It's internet stuff.
Okay.
Creepypasta.
Slender Man. I guess that was earlier. Yeah, I just barely.
Sometimes I play Angry Birds.
I just barely know what I'm talking about, and I really don't have time. Like, this is not going to come up in my homeschool later. Does not enrich my marriage. Does not help me one bit, except to connect to Peter and I guess Vicar too.
All right. Would you have anything to say about, was it Dark Rooms?
Yeah. There's a movie out, man. It's making a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Made by a 20-year-old on a $10 million budget. Hollywood doesn't own everything.
Do you think we ought to do a Clerical Errors movie?
Ooh, no, I definitely think you should not.
All right.
All right.
We won't.
You'll have to pay an editor for that one.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you, Hannah.
Thanks for having me.
Would you like to do the blessing?
Oh,
Thank you for listening. I'm Bull Hagen.
This is Vicar.
this is Hannah, and may your grief be shared.
Thank you for joining us. This podcast is available on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Questions, thoughts, concerns? You can contact us on Facebook at facebook.com/Clerical Errors Podcast, on Twitter at Clerical Errors P for podcast, or email us at feedback@clericalerrors.org. Thanks for listening to Clerical Errors. See you next time.
By the way,
Mm-hmm.
I got. How's your?
Oh,
What do
yeah, my Clerical Errors merch. Yeah, I got what do you call this? A ring holder for my phone with the Clerical Errors logo.
Looks like it's holding up quite well.
It is. I find it a little frustrating that it doesn't lay flat. And it's not quite always. Part of it is the phone is too big.
Okay.
And maybe it's not placed properly, but it is definitely a healthy asset in mom life when I don't want to.
I'm so
Drop it.
sorry, Hannah. What you meant to say was that you love it
Oh, yes. Yes.
and that it's life-changing and that everybody should get one, right?
Please go to clericalerrors.org.
Yeah, store.clericalerrors.org.
Everyone should go to store.clericalerrors.org and look at all the beautiful merch.
Oh, apparently it's out of stock.
The 4th of July is coming up, big gift-giving holiday in the United States. Your loved
That's right.
one will expect something related to a religious podcast in their...
And to get them, we're the only religious podcast of its kind. I mean, we've been copied. In fact, if you go to Off the Collar Podcast, it'll directly to us now. But you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was part of Peter's genius.